So you've probably seen other people on YouTube checking this thing out. Now it's my turn. This is the Carpuride W702B Pro. What is that? Basically, it's a way to add Apple Carplay or Android Auto to your motorcycle. It's got a bunch of different features on it. Of course, it's waterproof because it's out in the open. It's got a very responsive touchscreen. It's got a SD card slot. Obviously, Bluetooth connection with your phone. It can have up to 2 devices. There's a stereo equalizer in there, an intercom system, a barometer, a compass. And this one is 7 inches. Pretty big. They also make one that's 5 inches as well for smaller bikes if you don't want something this gargantuan on it. But let's open this up and let's see what is inside. All right, so this is the Carpuride 702B Pro. It's a 7-inch screen. The B designation means that it has an adapter for BMWs and their navigation mounts. So we'll take a look at that. But this just came in the mail. They did send this to me for free for review, but I get to say whatever I want to about it. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers have these, unbox these, review these, so they're really trying to push this out. And so here's just one more opinion. So let's get into it. And then here is the screen itself, 7 inches. Looks like it already has this BMW mount already on here. That's where I guess it would, this whole additional piece on the back would just snap into the BMW mount. And then this is the power cord. It's got a little screw fastener to keep it on there. That's good. See what else we've got in here. So this appears to be just the, well, let's see. Let's just take it out. So here's your fuse and wiring where you can go directly to a battery or some other 12-volt input. If you can put this on a relay, that would be the best, so that when you turn off the ignition, the power to this gets turned off. Otherwise, you have to manually turn it off. And it's got a little ball here for kind of like a ram mount type of thing. And here's kind of like your typical bar mount, and then kind of what you used to seeing with ram mount type of things with just the ball tightening down. It comes with an extra fuse, so that's cool. Here's the BMW bracket guide, which is very thin, and then the full manual. And then here is the USB, so you can plug this directly into a USB. And that's it. So let's go check this thing out in action. I will be using the Android Auto of this because I don't give a damn what color my text bubbles are on anybody else's phone. So let's get over to that. Out here on the bike, so we've got the unit attached to this navigation bar that I have on here. If I can let you see what's going on with this. I ordered this little bracket adapter that you can get on here, and it clamps right around the bar rather than using the ball mount that could be a little shaky. So let's power up this unit and see what's going on. So give it a few seconds to start right up, and then I've got my phone right here just for reference. So we've got the unit already powered up. I've just got it on a battery bank, so I don't have to run my bike right now. And it just turned on. This is the main menu where you can select Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a bunch of different settings here. Outside of being connected directly to your phone, you can use these mountings, which does have a compass and like a barometer air pressure thing. So basically can tell you what your elevation is. I wonder if that's accurate. I don't really use that, but it is something that you can use without being dependent upon your phone. Otherwise, this is very dependent on having your phone with it. The Android Auto, for example, which is what I will be using. Blur all that out because you shouldn't see where I am. So Android Auto, this is still piggybacking off your phone. It's using the phone for the GPS signal and everything. So your phone battery also will still be drained a little bit. So just be aware of that, that it's not purely this device. It still has to rely on your phone. But you have much more real estate with this device to, you know, look at like a map, for example. You can't really pinch on this, I'm learning. You can double tap to zoom in. Pinch doesn't really work. It's more or less detecting 2 inputs. So it's just, you know, use one finger. This one, not, anyway. So you drag it around, you've got your zoom buttons over here. You can turn your alerts on or off as well. This is Google Maps, so I don't know how you Apple people deal with life, but whatever, you'll figure it out.
We'll do heat 2. Do you want to reply?
All right, funny thing just happened. I was recording on this and my wife messaged me on here, and as I was trying to type on something in it, you saw what happened, so I had to tell her what happened. And so this is what it does.
Melissa said, Bluetooth thing? Then you said, the mount on my motorcycle. I was recording using it and your message popped up. I was about to tap on something as your message popped up, so I tapped on it and it was your text out loud.
That's fun.
You want to reply?
No, I'm good. So let's try this again. So this is primarily the way that I use it, is with navigation and with my music here. And if I wanted to go full screen navigation, I can just tap on that and it's full screen showing actually where I live, so that's not the best. So you can do this full screen, and you can hit this down here to do kind of your custom configuration of the 2 different apps you were using. You can hit it when it's all the dots to go to all your menu options for Android Auto. So this is what it does. The navigation I really do like once I'm up here in kind of the cockpit. It is a lot easier to see. The way it's mounted, it's a lot more convenient than looking at my phone. I'm the type of person that only likes to look at my directions. I don't like it telling me turn by turn. Another message, hey honey. And so I've got that turned off because I don't like it to say, in half a mile, turn right. In 300 feet, turn right. Hey, turn right. It's like, I got it, you know. So I turn that stuff off. And I would rather just look down to see where it is I need to turn. This provides me so much more information about where I need to turn, what lane to be in, and because of the bigger picture, I can actually see where it is I want to go. Now, I can do all this on my phone. I can listen to music and do navigation all on my phone. So when I got this unit, admittedly, I was wondering, okay, it displays it bigger, but really, is that worth $300 for this thing? And the more I use it, the more I like the convenience of this. I think if you're okay handling that upfront cost of purchasing this, having that extra real estate to see where you're going, especially if you have a need for turn-by-turn directions all the time, you're traveling a lot, I think this works out great to listen to music, coordinate all that stuff, see messages that pop up, see if it's a message that's worth responding to, that you need to pull over and answer, or you know, you can just dismiss it. But now we can easily see who it is, see the messages, see if it's important enough to kind of pull over and take care of that. I guess one thing we can also talk about is just the aesthetics of this. This is their 7-inch, so for motorcycles, I think this is their biggest one. They do make bigger ones for cars that are, think like 10 inches, and they, you know, just sit up on the dash, and also have integrated dash cams and such, so that may be worth checking out. But they also make like a 6-inch version and a 5-inch version, so depending upon your setup, you can see what this looks like. I think the 7-inch is fine for the Versys 1000. So if you have kind of a bigger touring bike, especially with a windscreen like this, it's not going to look out of place or anything like that. It almost looks like it just belongs, like it's an accessory with this. You know, mounting it can always be the tricky part. I did get this GPS aftermarket nav bar that attaches here, so it mounts it up where I can see this just above my regular instrumentation, and it still gives me plenty of room to see, because typically I'm looking over the windshield anyway, but I've still got this room here to look through if need be. So that's in a real convenient spot for that. And I just use the USB plug on this, on mine. That's just easier to use, and it already works on a relay, so this unit is going to turn on and off with the bike. That's really convenient, so you're not going to drain your battery as soon as you switch it off. It does come again with that wiring harness where you can wire that in directly to the battery. Otherwise, you would have to turn off the unit on the side. There's a power button over here. But if you can find a way to wire that into a relay, that's good. Otherwise, using the USB feature, and if you use the ball mount connection, that makes it really easy to move this unit from one bike to another if you have multiple bikes. So that's something to consider with that. And of course, if you have a BMW motorcycle that has the navigation plate thing or whatever here, you can use the adapter for that as well. The fact that this device is catering to the BMW market is actually kind of impressive, that they've kind of did a little R&D for that integration package. All right, so let's talk about who is this thing for. It's for somebody who's going to be touring and traveling, someone who probably already uses their phone a lot for navigation and music. This just gives you a bigger screen, an easier way to handle all of that, input directions, change tracks, answer phone calls. You can also use Google Assistant or Siri for this with voice commands. It is piggybacking off your phone, so it does need your phone in order to get the data, get the GPS directions. So you're wanting to probably be a person that's going to be on road for this, where you're around civilization and you have a cell phone signal. If you're doing something that's more off-road riding, adventure riding, you probably want to look at something that's a more dedicated GPS unit, something from Garmin, something in that regards. But if you're someone who just typically uses their phone and you want a little larger real estate and present that information to you in a better way while you're on the road, then this may be an option for you. Now, it's a few $100s and it ain't cheap, but it really comes down to, do you want to have that extra real estate? Is that going to be a convenient thing for you? If so, check it out. It's pretty good for what it is. Android Auto, it works great. Text messages work great on this. The navigation is good. The screen is really bright, even in sunlight. I had no problem seeing anything. There wasn't any glare. It does have a light sensor where it can dim when it gets darker outside, so it's not glaring in your face. One little glitch with that sometimes is if you had headlights that were directly behind you and that shone on it, the screen would brighten up for a little bit for that. So it kind of responded a little oddly for that, but it wasn't distracting. It was noticeable, but not distracting. Yeah, I think it's good for what it is. I don't think it's a must buy. But if you got a couple $100 that's burning a hole in your pocket, check out one of these things. But you don't need it. But I do like using it.